news, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the How is Hamas biker Diddy Bin Laden series. I am your host, Donald Trump Nux Taku. Dude, the amount of coverage of the people who I like on the internet covering how is Hasan is so funny to me. Apparently, he just got exposed even more, which I cannot wait to relish in. And let's hear how this fucking liar continues to lie on a daily fucking basis. It's gonna be great.
The legendary Hassan crash out continues. Now, last episode, we talked about how Hassan was apparently detained by the U.S. government. He was detained by border.
Yeah, this Hassan is like a Karen of the internet, and I'm sure detained to Hassan meant somebody talked to him sternly for 8 minutes because they were just doing protocol.
Patrol, and he was questioned before re-entering America.
I don't believe this shit at all.
Everybody concluded that it's because he openly supports terrorists on stream and plays their propaganda. So personally, I thought it was pretty fair that he got questioned, but it turns out that he might have...
The guy who said America deserved 9/11 got interviewed at an airport. Yeah, I sure hope he did.
Actually been lying or exaggerating some details of the situation. Obviously, Hassan is trying to pander to the notion that the government is silencing free speech and taking political prisoners. He's also been beefing with Nux Taku.
Yeah, he says America bad, terrorists good, and somehow this guy has viewers. And yeah, and get this, somehow his viewers are even dumber than him.
Calling him a PDF file. Nux also has his own series where he calls out Hassan. Local moral...
Like, legit. I want you to think about how fucking stupid you have to be to genuinely be a viewer and a consumer of Denims, Frogan, and Hassan. Like, I want you to, it blows my mind. Like, the levels of hell and the fields of retardation that you have to traverse through to become that much of a dreg of society. It's like, what in the fuck are you watching any of them for? Genuine question. Like, okay, I can understand if you watch Asmongold, or if you even watch me, you might be retarded. You might be, sure. But at least you can kind of justify it because you go, well, they're kind of funny sometimes and they play the games I like. These guys, if you're watching them, it's exclusively because you agree with them politically. They do nothing else besides, Ethan Klein. So this guy's a rapist, this guy's an abuser, this guy's a terrorist, and I'm the best person of all time. So let me tell you why terrorists are in the right. Legit, you have to be the biggest retard to actually watch any of their streams. I mean, and once again, I can understand if you're friends with Hassan or Denims or Frogan. I get it. They can be nice, right? Hassan's great to talk to about anime. He is. I'd even go hunting with the guy or maybe lift some weights. Not me personally, but I think the guy's a piece of shit. But all that aside, when they're on stream and they're live, the only thing they do is just talk about, well, I just don't think the rapes didn't happen because all of the dead people who were there didn't speak out against it. It's like, brother, in big 2025, growing up and maturing is realizing that whole field are aggressively retarded. It's like shocking.
On Denims is now threatening to...
And the worst thing is, those guys think they're informed.
Sue Ethan again after dropping her lawsuit. Apparently this time she's gonna sue him with her own money. Anyway, subscribe, follow me everywhere to keep up to date, and yeah, let's get this started. Starting with this tweet, Dan Solomon is alleging that Hassan is lying about his detention. He put a timeline together on if Piker's version of events were based in reality.
Absolutely
Hassan
not.
has been telling multiple MSM outlets that he's been detained for a few hours. The timeline disputes those claims. And here we have a picture of the timeline of events.
Not possible.
Here's Destiny explaining what's happening here.
Somebody said, was it questioning 2 hours or everything, including standing in line at security? So Hassan's flight landed, and then the doors opened at 4:22 Eastern time. At 4:22, the doors to his plane opened. From there, he has to leave the plane. He has to walk through to get to immigration. He had to check at the global entry thing and then get pulled aside for additional questioning. So he got pulled aside for additional questioning, did the questioning, and then he was out. And then he tweeted at 5:30, "It's okay, I'm out." So from the doors of his plane opening to him tweeting, "It's okay, I'm out," was an hour and 8 minutes. So realistically, he was probably pulled aside.
He was detained for at max. Detained at max 15 minutes, maybe. He was questioned for maybe 6 minutes, maybe.
Like from waiting in the room to talking to the guy and everything was probably 30 minutes tops.
Wow, Hassan.
There's just no way it's I feel like 30 is such a huge overestimate. There's just simply no way.
And I can't believe.
And also, you're not fucking detained. You could have walked at any time because you weren't under arrest. You know what I'm saying? You just answer the questions and you go aside. If it took him 30 minutes, it's because you were fucking around way too much.
This violation of free speech. I can't believe you got taken political prisoner like this. If we look at that chart again, within an hour of stepping out of the plane, he was out of the whole ordeal. And in fact, he was only interviewed for about 30 minutes, it seems, and he even said that they made him wait most of the time. So how many questions did they actually ask you?
Yeah, in the part where he was interviewed, Hassan said verbatim, and then they left for 35 to 30 minutes, which would be longer than the interview could have taken at max. So it just... how do people watch this stream and think, yeah, this guy makes sense? Like, do you guys, gentlemen, question. If you're a hater of me and you're a supporter of Hassan, you just like streamers looking at you and just lying to your fucking face? Like, genuinely, you just go Google it, right? Just go Google it. Like, all these motherfuckers do is just lie. And y'all's dumbass don't call them out on it. Y'all's dumbass just, like, don't look into it for 5 seconds. For 5 seconds, look into it. Even when they're telling the truth as closely as they can, they're still lying. It's actually shocking trying to find something truthful that comes out of this dude's tiny ass head. Can we talk about how small his head is? It's like a little gumdrop on like a big like Optimus Prime. He's got like Optimus Prime's build. Look at that little head. 45-year-old man, by the way.
I'm guessing bro was told to sit down for about 5 minutes, and he had this complete meltdown over it.
Oh, yeah.
Literally routine checkup, maybe possibly because somebody recognized him, and he was immediately let go. And somehow, since then, Hassan has been crying on stream nonstop that they violated his rights, and essentially implying that he's like some sort of political prisoner. He's going on all these interviews. He's telling everybody, oh my God, we should all be scared of this.
So he's lying for attention, and I hope that helps, because in America, you get ahead by fucking lying. And look at this. One lie, and he got interviewed by 11 different media outlets. One lie. That's what's insane. And he'll never be held accountable for his lies. It's fucking nuts.
This is a violation of free speech. Oh, the government is coming after us. And the mainstream news is obviously eating this up. They are, just like Hassan, complete disingenuous hacks.
Of course
trying to push some sort of propaganda. Now, it turns out they...
This is the reason why your grandparents sit and yell at the TVs, by the way. Because the media is bullshit.
Might actually be releasing video of the so-called detainment soon. Because
if they release the video of Hassan's detainment, he's gonna look like such a fucking bitch.
As the Department of Homeland Security gotta clear their name.
But apparently, this is what's crazy. So Hassan...
In his recent stream, he started walking it back. Oh, yeah, of course he did. Of course he did.
For how he said he got questioned, it looks like they might be pulling the tapes.
A popular streamer with more than 2 million followers says he was detained and questioned at O'Hare Airport for more than 2 hours.
This all happened as he was headed here to speak at the University of Chicago, and now federal workers are pushing back.
Yeah, that prominent Twitch streamer, Hassan Piker, he said that he was pulled over and questioned for hours right here at O'Hare Airport because of his political beliefs and his criticism of the current administration. We're asking for video of that incident, so it's hard.
Bro, an agent came out and took me into the interrogation room. They started asking me about crazy, like, do you like Donald Trump?
That's American-born Twitch streamer and left-wing political commentator Hassan Piker.
What a crazy question to get asked. Do you like Donald Trump? Oh my God, I was afraid for my life. Jesus, bro, get a grip. Like, this guy has lived such a spoiled, pampered, nepo baby lifestyle. Bro's gonna have a panic attack over, hey, do you like our president? Yeah, I can't believe he asked me that. He was raping me verbally. Like, bro, what is this, man? Get a fucking grip.
Recounting a 2-hour encounter with federal agents after he arrived in Chicago from a family vacation.
2 hours, by the way. This number is constantly thrown out. Oh, he was detained for 2 hours. We literally just proved it was false based on Hassan's own tweets. And I just love the fact that it's his own...
Isn't that crazy? If you just pay attention to what Hassan's saying, you realize it's all bullshit. Isn't that crazy?
Own inability to shut the fuck up that is exposing the shit out of him. And the second they called Hassan into that...
This guy's a joke? Yeah, but he's so cute.
Room, he was just like, oh my God. He was like giggling and, pissing his pants like, oh, I can totally twist the narrative now. I can play victim even more. They're suppressing the great free thinker, Hassan here.
Everything I've done is fully protected under the First Amendment.
Well, isn't that like...
Bro, all Hassan does is pander to extremists all day, every day. Hassan will even go on stream and say things that he doesn't believe in because he knows he has to pander to his audience. He knows. He goes up and says, what does my chat think? Okay, I'll say that. That's it.
I don't even know why you would say this. Like, you didn't go to jail. You didn't get arrested. Doesn't the fact that you're sitting there right now prove that? They do it randomly at times. Well, here's the thing. Out of the last 5 times I've flown on an airplane, 2 or 3 times I've been randomly selected for additional, like, vetting. Like, am I getting racially profiled as, like, a drug dealer or something? I mean,
2014, 2015, I had flown over at the time, my wife from Canada to the United States, and alarms started going off because she had attempted to cross the border before and it didn't work well. And they accidentally, instead of labeling her properly, they gave her black level security warning where she had the same threat level as a terrorist. We were then swarmed by 5 officers, and then they laughed once they realized it was just a small woman. I mean, here's the thing, man. Sometimes the airports are a little bit dumb. Yeah, I've been randomly selected many times. It's not because people think I'm a fucking terrorist. It's just procedure, and sometimes airports fuck up. It's really not that big of a deal.
well, I mean...
Okay, Asmund kind of fits that profile, not gonna lie. But honestly,
True.
This might have actually just been a routine thing. And we kind of saw that the federal employees were like, nah, he's basically lying out of his ass, right? So I don't know, implying that they pulled you out because of your political opinion is just, I don't know, he's slandering the DHS at this point.
None of these questions are actually valid questions to ask.
A Homeland Security official acknowledged the incident, telling us, quote, "This is nothing but lying for likes."
Anybody surprised?
Claims that his political beliefs triggered the inspection are baseless. Our officers are following the law, not agendas.
Anybody?
And this is from the Department of
Anybody
Homeland Security.
surprised?
Let's see the tapes. Straight up, like, I actually think that if he made this up, it will be worse than the debate.
Questions about what my opinions were on Donald Trump. I told him I don't like Donald Trump. After that, he asked me about my opinion on Israel and my opinion on what's going on in Gaza.
I mean, that's insane. I can't.
Hassan says he hates Donald Trump. I guarantee you he voted for him.
Imagine having to answer questions like that.
Might want to start damage control earlier versus later. Would be wild if you flat out made some shit out, yeah? Can't wait. Oh my God. We're going to get to the truth of this.
Please, dear God, release the tapes. Show
True.
me the video footage of Hassan so-called being interrogated for 2 hours, questioned on all these things. I mean, we got the Department of Homeland Security saying he straight up lied for attention on the internet.
Imagine
I
that.
feel like this situation is really showing how much of a complete loser Hassan actually is.
yeah.
He sounds like one of those drama queens who has like the tiniest shit happen to them and they turn it into this massive story. It's kind of like those stories of how your parents told you they got to school. Yeah, you know, I just had to go through a fucking blizzard, fight off 5 lions, you know, trudge through the Sahara Desert, and yeah, that was just a routine day for me. Now, Hassan's super simp has come to defend him. This is like a hack journalist named Taylor Lorenz, comes out and defends Hassan's detention story. Interestingly enough, she didn't acknowledge the actual issue, the timeline of events, and how long detainment was for. Just to be clear, the government literally confirmed that Hassan was detained publicly into multiple media outlets. None of this is in dispute by anyone except the most brain-rotted weirdos. Yeah, but what about the timeline here where he says he's out at 5:30, but he stepped off the plane at 4:22? Also, this part is really damning. After the first part of the interview, the agent left and went away for 35 to 40 minutes. So if that happened after this like 4:58 thing, when this guy's tweeting for a lawyer, that means like, was there even an interview? There's no time left in this. Anyways, Hassan responded to the detainment thing.
I'm sad about the damage you've done to your cause. Palestine's caused by your lies about your detention at the airport.
Bro, Hassan, he uses his laugh as a crutch so hard when he knows he's fucked. It's so embarrassing. If you pay attention to it, whenever you see one of his fucking retarded ass clips, like he will always laugh when he's uncomfortable. But he tries very hard to make it seem like he's comfortable by laughing. It's so obvious. It's worse than Kai Cenat's fake laugh.
A denial of reality is so fucking funny in this circumstance because like the Department of Homeland Security came out and admitted that it took place. And these motherfuckers still are like, nah. they're just lying about that too. Everyone's lying, except you know who's not lying? My favorite content creator.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, man. It's that you are lying because you're exaggerating the truth because that's what you do. You'll say that some guy who touched a woman on her shoulder raped them. And while it's true, the person did get touched, that's not fucking rape. Just like you say, oh yeah, the officer talked to me for 5 minutes. They interrogated me, they harassed me, they made me fear for my life for 2 hours. That's how you get away with this shit, is you expand and extrapolate upon partial truths by making the reality worse than it actually is, but you have a sufficient fallback that you can tell your stupid ass audience, well, I was telling the truth for this 1% that I was. It's so disingenuous.
You know what the Department of Homeland Security also said? They said that you were lying for likes. Hassan is the ultimate half-truth teller. You know, he'll just be like, oh, but the Department of Homeland Security literally confirmed that it happened. They also said that you were lying, you piece of shit. How do you do this? How do you take their own statement and just leave out the most important part? You can't make this shit up, bro. And giving Hassan all the grace.
It's the exact same thing. They said that he was right. He did get interrogated, but they also said the contents of the interrogation was completely falsified. Yet he's not going to bring that up.
Right? Even if his story is true and they pulled him aside and questioned him about all these topics about the Houthis and about Hamas, it is completely deserved, in my opinion. I feel like you display on your stream that—
Absolutely. Absolutely someone should be asked, are you supporting terrorists? Do you hate our country? Why wouldn't they? He's a political extremist. Why would you not?
That you really love terrorists. You did the love heart to the Houthi guy. Now, it turns out the mainstream media has been covering the story quite a lot. He showed up on late night show hosts like Seth Meyers and stuff. And if you didn't know, these late night show hosts are complete hacks, bro. Like, basically, CNN type propaganda bullshit, completely soulless. They just parrot false media talking points all the time and are painfully unfunny. But of course, all of the NPCs are eating this up. Then we have Asmongold talking about Hassan slandering him.
Hassan says he's never slandered Asmongold nor asked for his ban. What about when he said that half of my hard drive was like stuff and I loved remember that? What about that? That was like a 2 weeks ago. That's pretty bad.
What about the part where he said that Asmongold killed his own fucking mother? Yeah, what about that? Like, legit, just look into anything he's— I feel like I'm fucking Paimon at this point, bro. Like, this is the part where it's just like, you see it, you know what it's like? You know what it's like? JoJo's. We're like, oh man, I wonder who the stand user is here. Oh, it's definitely not these two guys. Oh yeah, it could be fucking anyone, right? And with Hassan, it's like, yeah, I wonder who the bad guy is. Oh man, no, I don't know, but he's so cute. There's no way he's the bad guy. It's like, genuinely, how the fuck does anybody think this guy is not in the wrong? It's insane. It's like saying, bro, so what's the what flavor of drink you drink? Oh yeah, it's Body Armor Zero Sugar Fruit Punch. No, it's not. What do you mean? It says that on the label. No, it's just not though. I don't think that it is. In my feelings, I don't feel that it is. It's like, holy shit. It's like explaining to me what 2 + 2 is. Like, holy shit.
Ability on almost all occasions to continue to slander him. What do you expect? Back at the end of the day, what are you talking about? What the f are you talking about? I've never even demanded that he gets banned off the platform. You know that, right?
I don't think he just needs suspended. Like, you just stop supporting terrorist organizations. The bar is on the ground.
Listen, if Twitch can come to me and say, you need to stop bullying Frogan, and I say, okay, they banned me for 2 weeks, they appeal it, it goes down to, I was only banned for 3 days, it was like 2 days, 28, 24, 22 hours, and they kept monetization off of ads. I didn't make any money in the past 3 weeks off ads on Twitch. I lost like probably 15, 20 grand off of that shit. They can go to Hassan and say, hey, we're going to warn you, stop talking about supporting terrorism. If you can tell someone to stop bullying Frogan, you can tell them to stop supporting terrorism. You can. And you know what's crazy? Since all this shit, I've had my name run through the fucking mud for shit that I've never done. For shit that has no relation to me. For now, 4 weeks. Twitch, it's really that easy. Just do to him what you did to me. Ban him for 2 days and say, stop the terrorist propaganda. I know you can do it because you've already done it to me. Really not that difficult.
The bar is really so low. You just have to not be completely insane. But it's actually really hard because that's kind of what he actually believes with all his heart. So even the bare minimum he cannot do. Now we have one of my favorite clips. Hassan starts crying about not actually making an impact or converting anybody to his side.
Why is bro cosplaying Squid Games?
I don't really care. Like, all of this stuff is aura whatever, okay? Yeah, aura farming. Except the real problem here is, regardless of all the PR, I don't think I am making an impact in places, in avenues where it matters. I don't think I'm able to penetrate broader consciousness amongst the youth. And I think that that's what matters. And I still think that Americans are deeply selfish in their examination of foreign policy. And yeah, I don't know. I think people are just collectively getting dumber and dumber and more racist by the minute and by the day. And I constantly feel sad about that.
Wow, who would have thought the guy who was super
Jesus.
extremist cannot find common ground with the average person? The guy who basically runs a cult is unable to influence spaces outside his cult. Shocking news, almost like the common sense take is to realize he's a fucking dumbass liar. Anyways, let's move on to Hassan versus...
It's insane how people would watch that clip and they would fall for a very blatant attempt at virtue signaling. They'll say, wow, so that's how he really feels. Brother, he just lied to your face. He just shit in your mouth and you swallowed it and you liked it. Like, you gotta be able to identify these lying ass content creators, bro, because they are fucking everywhere.
Versus Nux, Hassan has put himself in a multi-day feud with Nux Taku. Glad this moron spends all his time complaining that everyone hates Israel, my fault, instead of doing whatever the F this was or showing people prawn. Nux responds saying, glad this 45-year-old terrorist supporter is still crying about me, his fault, instead of freaking trafficking victims of questionable ages at German brothels or dating parties. If you didn't know, Hassan visited a brothel in Germany that was rated for trafficking. Also, he's gone to...
And was confirmed to have one child.
Diddy party
minimum
in the past.
Minimum
25 months.
I thought that was a meme, but yeah, it's true apparently. Hassan calls out Nux Taku, says Israel bricked his brain.
And what I find really funny is like this person, this VTuber guy, okay, who is constantly making videos about me. That's like a super like Israel bricked this dude's brain. Very, very unwell individual. He goes, "There's no evidence this happened." And then
remember, guys, anybody who criticizes Hassan is mentally unwell. You want to know why? Because they said the truth. Oh, I know, bro. Yeah, let me guess. He's a pedophile too, huh?
This person responds, we can debate whether...
I like how they won't say his name.
His recounting of the incident is credible, but the government admits he was taken aside for extra scrutiny. He says Hassan claims ICE detained him. This says they asked the guy that supports multiple U.S. designated terrorist organizations a few extra questions. To me, when someone is released, it suggests at one point they were not free to go. Like, he's like, look at the Department of Homeland Security statement. It says it right there.
Yeah, the Department of Homeland Security statement also said that you were fucking lying for likes. And it's crazy. Look at his chat. They go kek w, omega lol, kek, lol, kek. Like, first of all, who's using kek in big 2025? Everybody's using these days. It's just insane.
Why the fuck are you... Why are you trying to debate this? I said, Derek, you are arguing with an Israel dick rider who watches the graphic anime of children.
Right, very shocking. Hassan calls him a PDF file.
And there it is.
Hail Tectone.
And there it is. Yep, there's the pedophile plug. There it is, man.
I can't get over this. He keeps saying, look at the Department of Homeland Security statement. Yeah, I did. They said you were lying. How do you have the confidence to keep pointing me to them, bro? I'm gonna keep saying it. But anyways, let's look at Nux's response.
So this over here is Harry Potter and the denier of... There is still zero evidence that Hassan was detained. Originally, I said this as a joke because, I mean, hey, Hassan, any forensic evidence that you're detained? I don't see any forensic evidence.
Right, so real quick, some context. Basically,
so the reason why he's saying that is because he denied a bunch of rape for a bunch of women because they didn't speak out about it because they were all dead and they couldn't. And the circumstantial evidence that Hassan didn't want to go in on was the fact that they were bound and gagged naked with cum inside their blood around their vaginas as well as bruising. And he said, well, we don't know there's rape. There was no proof.
Hassan, you know,
they didn't speak out. They should have spoke out. Brother, they're dead. They can't.
Denies grapes happening by like Hamas, and he asked for evidence, right? He's like, Pixar, it didn't happen, basically. He ignores the reports, the circumstantial evidence, and all of that. So Nux is basically trolling, asking for evidence as well. You know, Pixar, it didn't happen.
Hassan claims ICE detained him. This says that a guy that supports multiple U.S. designated terrorist organizations was asked a few questions. So I continued cooking, and in my opinion, Hassan Hamas Diddy bin Laden Piker himself started getting really sweaty about this. You are arguing with an Israel dick rider who watches a graphic anime of children. His response was calling me a pedophile. The irony, Mr. Brothel enthusiast and Mr. Diddy party enjoyer is calling people out for making fun of shit that came out of Japan.
Blue Lock is a boy love anime.
Oh, the main character in Blue Lock is 14 years old. Oh, shit. He watches anime pedophilia. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. You know, this is a high school anime, right, Hamas Piker?
The only part in Blue Lock that doesn't make it fully a BL, I guess, is that they don't kiss.
Dudes get like giga-round.
Yeah, anyway, you get the idea. And the other irony is, this guy over here, Joey, the anime man, is an open supporter of lolly stuff. So, I mean, the super irony is the fact that Hamas, Diddy bin Laden, Adolf Piker over here is awesome.
Right, so I imagine Nux is fighting fire with fire there. Obviously doesn't think watching Blue Lock is wrong or anything like that. He's obviously just, you know, comparing Hassan's arguments there. Feel free to check out his full response as well. It's like an hour-long video. But yeah, I don't really know the entire history or lore behind their feud or anything. But anyways, here's what Nux said about the whole slop tubing thing.
What is this? So is Hassan blaming me that he got detained at the airport? Yeah, guys, I made
of course
the call.
He is.
I never said Asmongold is the reason. What? I like that these guys live in their...
Bro, he literally titled his video "Slop Tubers Are Playing with Fire," implying that it's because of Slop Tubers that he was arrested at the airport. Like, are we all on the same page? The title of this video, me.
Dude, people are so ignorant of how much of effect a title and a thumbnail has. You know what's crazy, guys? 90% of a video's performance is dependent on the title and the thumbnail. That's a fact, by the way. That's a fact. That is where all the views come from. So content creators say, well, it was just my title and my thumbnail. Listen, I was there at one point in my career, but after 6.5 years, you have to understand how bad a title and a thumbnail is, especially if it doesn't represent the point of your video. So same with Saint Tontas. Saint Tontas made a very bad thumbnail and title on me. And even though the video wasn't that, I was like, hey man, can you change that? He's like, oh yeah, my bad, of course. Every content creator, once educated, will know that a title and a thumbnail absolutely will make people feel a certain type of way. Why wouldn't it? Most people are going to click the video, be like, oh my God, this happened, and then click off. And they're already left with the impression that they already got the thumbnail and title.
Means that the Slop Tubers got him arrested. And then he's like, I never said that. I never said
their own little bubble where they say stuff like this. No, I never said Asmongold is
the... And bro's trying to act like titles and thumbnails doesn't matter. So like if I were to post a video of like a mugshot of Hassan in my thumbnail and say, Hassan just got caught being a rapist. Oh, but dude, it was just a title and the thumbnail. In reality, it was just me playing Elden Ring. Like it was just a thumbnail. Like that's just not how it works, bro. Obviously, titles and thumbnails can really fuck up people's lives as well as set a narrative. You can't just be that willfully ignorant.
Reason. Right. I said that the type of that Asmongold and Redditors would bring up were being brought up in the line of questioning.
I love how he's like,
there's a difference between making a good title and making a clickbait title. A good title entices people to click. However, a clickbait title is one that does not properly demonstrate and exemplify what is in the video that you're going to watch.
It's the Redditors' fault that they asked him why he supports terrorists, and not the fact that it's his fault for supporting terrorists.
Again, Hassan is denying reality. He definitely implied it was because of Slop Tubers. The clips are pretty clear from that. He said, they're playing with fire. They're getting me in trouble with the law. What the hell does that mean? Obviously, it means you think we somehow, as Slop Tubers or as Asmongold or whatever, are somehow getting you in trouble, getting you arrested, when in reality, it's yourself, it's your own yapping, and your inability to not show love for terrorists that has caused this. Then Hassan justifies his stream where he shows NMP the terrorist propaganda videos.
Oh, you want to see a Houthi musical? Sure.
See, I know they're singing.
This right here, what he's showing right here, is constitutionally protected speech.
Actually, it's not. It's actually terrorist propaganda, and therefore, if you're broadcasting it uncritically, then technically, according to, you know, the law, it actually counts as providing material support to terrorism, which could land you up to 20 years in federal prison. Charge. Actually, no, wrong. But anyway.
And does not
I love free speech as much as the next guy, but the rules when it comes to freedom of speech mean that if you are inciting violence, or if you are inciting violence through terrorist propaganda uncritically, no, that is not actually protected by freedom of speech.
God.
Freedom of speech does not mean free speech. You can't go into a movie theater and shout fire, or go into a movie theater and say, I have a bomb strapped to my chest and I'm going to detonate it right now unless you all give me all your fucking money, right? You have freedom of speech as long as it does not impede on the happiness and safety of other people. It's very straightforward.
God. Oh, chatter. I am a political commentator.
Or at least
I am
just
on a
the
higher
safety.
level than those meager fiends, those fools, those lesser beings. I call Houthi terrorists One Piece characters.
Guys, Hassan is a political commentator. You gotta take him seriously. He's an on-the-ground reporter. He's actually in the middle of Gaza right now. He's part of Luffy's crew. He's gonna sail the 7 seas and find the One Piece. Then Hassan cries about free speech again.
Because it is unprecedented in its nature.
It's so unprecedented that he was asked questions in an airport.
While simultaneously...
so
unlawful questions, I might add.
It was actually insane. I was detained by a McDonald's employee for 10 minutes when they said, may I take your order? Do you want fries with that? Are you going to supersize this meal? And I was afraid for my life. I was like, am I free to go? Am I free to go? The First Amendment protects me from this type of interrogation. I'm having an anxiety attack. Please release me. It was the scariest 18 hours of my whole life. It was horrifying. I didn't want to talk about it. They even asked, do I want extra pickles? It was fucking terrible, bro.
Like,
are you okay, Tectone? That must have been terrifying. I don't know. I might cry about it for a little bit more. I didn't want it, Big Bang.
Do you support terrorists?
Basically talking about the dangers of what this means for the future of all Americans.
Oh, he's worried about the future of all Americans. Probably not Jews, though. Because remember, he supports Hassan Nasrallah, the guy that said he didn't want all Jews to move to Israel so he can all Jews at the same time. Hassan supports that guy, says he's pretty based. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't mean all Americans here.
Dude, Hassan pretending this is some great crime against free speech is crazy. Nothing happened to you. You're not some martyr. You're not Gandhi being put in prison for speaking out against the bad guys, bruh. Basically, Hassan's usual tactic of, quote, hiding his power level isn't working, right? Basically, what Hassan would do whenever he goes on different podcasts or whatever, he would not be as extreme. He would purposely dial down his views so that he can sort of like marinate people into being more extremist, like sort of groom them into being more extremist, right? Because
if you want an example of that, watch the Steak and Eggs podcast where we had Hassan on as a guest at Steak and Eggs. It was great.
If you straight up go and say you support terrorists, it's you know, the average person is like, nah, this guy's kind of crazy. So you gotta you know, marinate them a little bit. You gotta cook them. You gotta steam them. You gotta put some spices on them. And it's just unfortunate for Hassan that this one time actually people are directly saying some of your extreme statements without you putting that wall of 500 layers of context, right? Your 8 hours to react to one content nuke, right? Anyways, update on Denim's lawsuit.
Oh, that was just part 1, Pegasus. That was 9 hours to react to part 1.
Denim's implies that she'll be going through with self-funded lawsuit against Ethan. Oh my god.
She will lose.
I saw a lot of people confused on what this meant, so I was like, okay. I will elaborate.
And I also have no sympathy for Denim's losing this lawsuit when she does, because she went in on my case so hard with no proof, no explanation, no talking to both sides whatsoever. When she was very open to talking to me about a year and a half ago, when she would frequently raid me. I even offered her to play fucking Fortnite. But hell nah, brother. She was very openly talking to me before, but now that she has a chance to dunk on me and get some views, yeah, she'll take every opportunity to do that shit. I know, Denim was a fan of Big Baldy. Absolutely she was.
We'll elaborate a little bit more. I saw a lot of people being like, well, I don't understand. Why would you start this journey and then say you're not going to do it? Why are you saying if? I'm saying if because the 10 days haven't run out yet. He can still retract his statements. The correct term to use there is if. Because if he retracts his statements, which he still has 2 or 3 days, I can't sue him because he's retracted the defamatory claims. Girl, he is not going to, sure, but you can't say, I am going to do this, and then he retracts.
Bro, you gotta have an IQ of a goldfish to be watching Denims, bro. Holy shit.
I know.
Ethan, please sue this bull and make her lose everything because she be yapping too much. First, you try to pull a GoFundMe scam. Everybody realizes you're trying to make a quick buck. Nobody believes you. And now what? You're still trying to hold on to something? Now, apparently, Ethan is also making another content nuke video on Hassan, and I am looking forward to that.
I took the whole middle of the week off because
Oh, bro, if he makes another content nuke, I'm dedicating the whole day to reacting to that shit. I legit could not wait.
Wanted to focus on filming a video. I'm happy.
Why most people hate you? You just tell facts because people really don't like hearing the truth. That's why. It's been this way for 6.5 years, man. Welcome to the channel.
Report that I got done what I wanted to do. We filmed it. It came out good. It's just a matter, I'm going to edit it up. A few other things need to coincide. And then, my friends, let's just say, well, you remember how what happened after the first nuke in World War II?
There was a second.
That's right. There was a second nuke. These things come in pairs, Dan.
Gotcha.
It's good. It's good. You guys are, nobody knows what the is coming. It's going to be so fantastic, you guys. I'm giddy with excitement.
As always, we will be watching. Now click.
Oh, man. That is going to be great fucking content. Bro, I swear to God, Pegasus is one of the best content creators on the whole platform. I fucking love this dude.